What's going on, guys? My name is Alan. Welcome to another episode of Review. This is the show where I talk movies, games, TV shows, and whatever else. And today's episode is going to be over Equilibrium. This movie stars Christian Bale, Emily Watson, and Taye Diggs. This movie is often compared to The Matrix, and there are some similar things. But if you go into this movie thinking that it's going to be as deep and as exactly like The Matrix, you're gonna be disappointed, but I will talk more about that later. First off, let's start with the story. This movie is set in a world that emotion, art, and just feeling in general has been outlawed due to a war that happened. And after this war, the human race barely survived it. And people that come to the power, they believe that emotion is the sole reason behind war, and it's the reason why there is war. So they outlaw it. They create a drug, and this drug is pretty much make sure you cannot have emotions. It's implied that you can that there are some emotions still. You'll see several of the actors still smile, and they'll still have a small chuckle. But it's implied that this drug more or less outlaws the extreme emotions like crying and like really extreme happiness. It outlaws that. And they also create this elite police group called the Grammaton Cleric, and they are trained to be physically fit, trained in martial arts, and they're also trained to detect people's facial expressions and their detect if they have been off their medication. So pretty much they can detect that someone's having an emotion. Now, the main character, Preston, which is Christian Bale's character, he misses the dosage of his medicine, and he starts to feel emotion. And his partner, Taye Diggs' character, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I do apologize if I am, but I did not see him move with him in it before. But he, being a cleric too, he detects pretty early on that he is off his medication, because once he misses this medication, once Christian Bale's character misses this medication the first time, he never gets back on it. So being Taye Diggs' character being a cleric, he's picks up on it pretty soon, and I won't say too much more about it because that's when the story really picks up there. Christian Bale's character, and it's just his performance, is really well done in this movie. He can play an emotionless character pretty well, but when he gets his emotions back, it's you can tell it's like the first time someone's ever experienced emotion, and it's pretty good. Now, the Emily Watson's character is the love interest, and I like how they work the love interest in this movie. I won't say too much about it again because it's spoiling the movie, but they do work out the love interest pretty well. She doesn't play she doesn't have as too many. She's not on screen very much, like you would think she would be being love interest, but I don't know. It works out though. Also, there's as far as the story goes, as I said, art and emotion, as I've already repeated several times, they are illegal. So you can imagine the city this movie takes place in is dull, and it's boring, and it very much is. The buildings are all white, they're all the same. There's no advertisements, no color at all. People pretty much march in a single file line everywhere, and it looks really just oppressed. You can tell these people are oppressed, and it worked. The director created a really good world for that. I also noticed during one scene they have these seals over the windows that block out light or whatever. So one scene it was raining. Someone tore off that seal in the movie. You could tell that they have it blocked. That these seals are to more or less to block off rainbows or whatever, because it was raining, of course. So it works out really well. Really good design for the city. Now, there is one scene in particular in the story that I want to talk about a little bit, and it's a plot hole. It's debated several times, and this plot hole involves a gun swap. Now, a little backstory first. When a cleric fires his gun, it can be traced back to him. The bullet can be traced back to his gun. So there's one scene. There's a cop killed, and it was used one of the cleric's guns. But it wasn't the clerics who fired the gun. It was a cleric who killed the cop, but it wasn't the same cleric who owned the gun, or whatever. And this pistol swap, the plot hole comes in. It happens after the cop was killed, way after the cop was killed. So the gun that was used to kill the cops should have been the cleric who killed the cop's gun. So it shouldn't have been any difference. It should have been the cop who owned the cleric who owned the gun killed the cop. But this plot hole happens. It happens after the swap happens way after the cop is killed. So it should be his own gun or whatever. And this plot hole is debated over and over again because people think that it's really bad, and people just kind of shut down there because it's like, oh, plot hole, I hate it, because it's a pretty bad plot hole. Some plot holes are just really slight; they're going to be argued pretty well. This one's it is a plot hole, very much so, but how it works out in the story, it fits really well because it's used to create some deception in the story, and that's really what I like about it. So next thing I really want to touch upon is some of the comparisons to The Matrix. This movie, I don't think it's really fair to compare it to The Matrix very much because The Matrix has a lot more going on. It's a lot better. The story's a lot better. The stories are very similar. Oppression is a big role in both stories. It plays a big role in both stories, but if you go in there thinking they're going to be the same, they're going to be as in depth. This movie just didn't stand a chance. But one thing that the movies do share, another thing they do share, is the action scenes. The action sequences are very similar. There's a certain way the cleric is trained. The cleric is just trained in martial arts, but they're also trained in a style of gunplay that allows them to kill several people at one given time. And once you see it, I'll try and have a clip of it here. But once you see it, you can. It looks very similar to how a Matrix gunfight would have worked, or an action scene would have worked. Also, the clerics all wear black clothes, very dark clothing, I should say. So it is very reminiscent of the Matrix. Now, when I'm referring to the Matrix, I'm referring just to the first one. Both Reloaded and Revelations, they expand upon the Matrix a lot differently. You could compare the gunfights then, or the action scenes. But as far as this episode's concerned, I'm comparing the Matrix. But as I was saying earlier too, oppression plays a big role in both films. I think in The Matrix, again, it was worded a lot better. It was just a lot better, well done. So I really don't want to talk too much about The Matrix. All I already have. But my best recommendation for this movie is don't go in thinking that it's going to be The Matrix. Go in there thinking, just don't bring the Matrix up at all. Just go in there, just it's its own movie. It's whatever. Don't go in there thinking of The Matrix because you're gonna be disappointed then. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this movie. It's really well done. I really enjoyed it with a couple things here and there I could have done without. I think it was still a really good movie. Acting was really good. So yeah, if I was to give this movie a rating, I'd give it a 8.5 out of 10. It is a really solid movie, and that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys next time.